I remember reading somewhere that the band Therapy was called the Nirvana of Northern Ireland. I guess that's kind of a good description of the band. They just released a new album called Hard Cold Fire. It's their 16th studio album, released on May 5th, 2023 through the Marshall Records label. So a quick history of the band. Therapy released their debut album called Baby Teeth on July 15th, 1991. This was around the same time that Nirvana released Nevermind. So there were comparisons to that band, also because they were like a three-piece at the time, and they had a sound that was not the same, but I guess kind of similar. They really didn't get noticed until they released their fourth album called Troublegum. This is the one with that iconic cover showing the guy sticking his head in the garbage, and this one had singles such as Nowhere, Trigger Inside, and Die Laughing. Since then, they have been releasing albums pretty consistently. They never really had the same amount of success as the album Troublegum, but it's pretty impressive that they have released 16 albums since 1991. Let me also add like a little disclaimer that I'm not like very familiar with this band. I think it's because they were never really popular in the U.S. I think their success was more in the UK and Europe. I remember some things about this band. I remember they were on that Judgment Night soundtrack album where they had these like metal bands mixing songs with rappers at the time. But other than that, I don't know much about this band other than Troublegum, so I know what I researched for this review. So I'm going to talk about this album. It's fairly short. It's under 30 minutes. It's 10 songs. All the songs are like under 3 minutes, so I'll be going through them pretty quickly. So opening track, They Shoot the Terrible Master. It's just heavy, it has a distorted bass guitar, and the bass guitar is the main instrument in this song. There's a lot of feedback, a lot of that punk rock energy. It's a good album opener. That's really all I have to say about this. Whoa is the second track. I thought it was pretty cool as a cool guitar riff. I like the odd time signature. It's more of a catchy song as a chorus. It's kind of repetitive. It makes it memorable. There's like a lot of fuzz and feedback, a lot of harmonic sounds. It's very grungy. It's very like 90s alternative. Joy was the third song, and I think this one might be like my favorite. It was like a very like 90s sounding song, and it reminded me of like the heavy riffs of Helmet and like the melodic nature of Nirvana. Also, like the vocals reminded me of the band Silverchair in this one. And I think this one is probably like the catchiest song, or the one that kind of stood out for me. Bewildered Herd, this one was okay. It has some riffs that reminded me of like Soundgarden from like the Bad Motorfinger era. More of an energetic song with punk rock energy, and that's all I can say about that. Two Wounded Animals was pretty good. I like the use of like the palm muted guitar riffs and kind of like this early Nirvana Bleach sound, and also again, the chorus reminded me of Silverchair for some reason. This was kind of like a simple song. It was okay. I mean, nothing else to say. And To Disappear, this one's pretty cool. A typical grunge kind of song. Everything you would expect from the band. They did add in some kind of like space rock elements. I thought that was pretty cool. The song did like take some twists and turns as far as like the song structure. And it did it all like within like a 3-minute song. And then Mongrel, it's like the longest song on the album. It's actually like 3 minutes and 38 seconds. But with that being said, it's a decent track. Lots of guitar riffs that remind me of the band Helmet, like their early period from the 90s. And you could tell they're using like the drop D tuning on the guitar. And the vocals in this section were like a little darker and heavier. And the chorus was more melodic. Poundland of Hope and Glory. So we're at like the last 3 songs. And this one reminded me, I keep saying Nirvana, but I mean, that's kind of like the band that keeps, reminding me of, and reminds me of like the band like Oasis. I guess like the vocals in the chorus reminded me of that. But other than that, they're not really doing anything new. They're just playing this alternative grunge music. It's pretty cool. And there's 2 songs left. Track number 9, Ugly. I like this one because I got like, as far as like the guitar riffs, kind of reminded me a little of like Stone Temple Pilots, like a grungy sound, lots of feedback, fast paced, lots of frenetic drumming, and it's kind of catchy. I actually like the lyrics in this one because like the lyrics they say like, "I'm ugly if you touch me, I'll pass it on to you. I'm ugly if you touch me, you'll be ugly too." So I thought those were pretty clever lyrics. And the final song, Days Collapse. This one I liked. It's a nice rhythm section. They used those like arpeggiated bar chords and slight distortion. So I thought it was pretty cool. Actually, like the end of the song because they're bringing that like '80s post-punk sound, that like New Order, The Cure, like that type of sound. So I thought that was pretty cool. So in conclusion, I thought it's a pretty good album. It's a short album. I guess it would be an EP by some standards. It's about 27 minutes long. The songs are short. I like that aspect of it. I like that they're preserving the 90s grunge sound. It seems like something we don't hear as much these days. I know Mudhoney just released an album, and that was pretty good. They're preserving that sound. So I do like it when these grunge bands, and I don't even know if I want to call them grunge, because I know they're from the UK, and grunge is kind of more of like this like Seattle thing. But anyway, I'm just going to call it grunge. It's good. It didn't blow me away. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're not doing anything new. It's just a 90s fun album. For me, it's a 7 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching. Check out this video right here.